This is the non-serious ute.
Yes. I was just kind of got to think of.
Yeah. Where do you fit in the picture?
Sorry, I've got to be inspirational here.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, in the back of the ute again. And last week, you may have been asking, who is we when Rachelle was speaking? And voila, this is Justin. Is your surname Armstrong as well? Good. Hi, Justin Armstrong.
All my life.
Okay, excellent. Never know, how us independent women, whether we carry our names or not, or our husband's name. And, well, I just would like to know Justin's story, because I actually, as much as I have met him on the circuit with Nutrisoil and now soil restoration farming, I know nothing about Justin. So, welcome, Justin.
Thank you.
Except he's got a wicked personality, very funny, and we'll take it from there. So.
Right. Yes. Okay. So I'm Justin Armstrong. Married to Rachelle for coming on 12 years now. We've got a daughter, Matilda. She's 11, coming on 12. What am I? Yeah, my story. So I have been this year doing a leadership course. So it's brought me out and helped me a little bit more with soil restoration farming. I'm very much behind the scenes, but I say to Rachelle the odd time is, hey, what about propping me up? But I don't actually step up. So here I am now.
Stepping up in the back of the ute.
Yeah. So yeah, what have I done? Like, so I suppose I met Rachelle in 2007 after completing a 3-month trip around America racing mountain bikes. Yeah, I kind of met her before going, but then, we got together after I got back from racing mountain bikes. I call that my midlife crisis year. Lots of things happened and, yeah. And then basically I met Rachelle and,
How was your first date?
It was good. So our first date, it was very interesting. Most people would have a first date, they'd go off to something romantic, and I suppose my first date was meeting Rachelle, talking to Rachelle, and then going, she's like, so my life is all about regenerative farming. And I'm like, yep, whatever that is. And so, off we go to, and she said, I'm going to a Martin Stapper event. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she said, so if you want to be part of my life, this is what I do. So off we go, and and Martin Stapper event, and I think that was at Wylad, and I actually, Graham, Rachelle's dad, came along as well and gave me the keys, and I even got to drive us all there. I was a chauffeur. But that was, and so that was my intro into regenerative farming.
And how was your second date?
Yeah, second date was, I think it was Colin Sice. Yeah, Col Sice. I'm sure there was Martin Stapper in there too as well somewhere. But, and rocking up being not from a regenerative farming background to an event wearing, I even painted my nails black just for the occasion, which got a few people talking, thinking. Yeah.
And so you just then thought, wow, this woman's just...
The love of my life, and and this is where I want to be, And no, it's been a pretty good learning curve. Previous to that, I installed video surveillance for 7 years, and so to go from video surveillance, which had nothing to do with farming, And now in a regenerative farming business, well, second regenerative farming business, yeah.
So you worked really hard though with Nutrisoil Biologics, because you were at the field days with Rachelle as well, weren't you?
Yes, yeah, working hard and me is like, an interesting thing. But yes, I did. Yes, I did work hard. Yes. So one of my, in our wedding vows and the father of the bride's speech, Rachelle's dad. When I first met Rachelle's dad, he's like, "So what do you do?" I said, "I try not to do much at all," or something like that. Yeah, as little as possible. And so, a hard-working farmer that my father-in-law was just sort of went, "You what? As little as possible." So then, fast forward probably about 6 months later, I'm working for him and Rachelle. And, so then, and then we got married, and that was one of the main points in our wedding speech from him. Was my first introduction was, "What do you do?" As little as possible. Yeah.
Very good. But you've got a fairly big role now in the soil restoration farming side of things.
As much as Rachelle lets me. Yeah. No, yeah, we do.
So much trouble.
No, I do, yeah, I suppose, because so I've worked out really, working on my strengths and weaknesses, my biggest weakness is probably the whole planning side of things. And so Rachelle's like, we need to do this, we need to do that. And to me, she's talking and I'm like, blah, 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 and I'm like, so I don't really do the planning. But when it comes to what needs to be done, she can direct me and I can go like a bullet at it, whatever, and I can go and serve a purpose and do this, this and this. But the whole planning side of it, yeah, that's why we're a good partnership, because, and I'm very much let's call it a crazy extrovert, so I love to be around people, and so I can spread the word as much as COVID, I can be out there spreading, and but I need, that purpose and that direction, yeah.
And to finish, what is your thoughts, or how do you feel about the whole regenerative farming, now coming from no farming background at all?
Yeah, it's really a definite thing that we need to do. Like, I know we very much focus on carbon and that type of thing, and talking to everybody, I think carbon's great in the regenerative sense, but it's the icing on top. So really, I look at regenerative farming as, getting the better quality food, and which sounds funny because I eat a lot of junk food, so, but to get that better quality food, to get our soils back to life and get the sequestering happening and things like that. So I really think, that whole thing, getting your soils, like, we come here and it's just beautiful and green and you just go, my God, like, it's healthy as. Everything's green and beautiful.
And, I was going to ask you one more thing. So the regenerative coaching side, really important at this point in time.
I really think so, because people, we all think we know it until we get into it, and so, and then you go, like, I'm the king of it. Like, I go, I'm in it, and then I start to flounder, and I go, oh my God, and it's like, and then you've got to back and start, coaching is, all about asking you questions and coming back to the why, and like, and it's like, so, and really asking somebody, why are you doing this, and why are you like, and how do you see success and things like that, because realistically we think we know what we're doing, but then we go, well, why are you doing it? And then it really starts making people think.
So have you done those 5 questions? Have you answered those?
No, I've asked them. No, yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't yet. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
maybe you need to then.
Yeah, but it's the funniest thing is the last question is Karen Jarling's question. Like we stole it. What would you do if you won the lotto? And it's so funny because going back to a values type system, it's like, well, nobody has said, geez, I'd sell up and I'd go such and such. It's really good to know that everybody seems to be doing everything they want. They just go, well, hang on, if I had that money, I could streamline it, or I could buy bigger and show more people. Yeah, so it's very much coming back to, yeah, and I suppose I could say for me, the fifth question, like, I'd do the same. Like, I'd still live in the same place, but maybe have a second house. But, so it's really spread the word more.
Has that actually been an eye-opener to you for that fifth question, the answer, the response? Were you sort of expecting that? Or?
I think I was expecting that more than anything because, most people, this is where with us, and we like to have the, your own part being different, your own being different, yeah. And knowing that the people that we associate with and everything like that are real. So, and that's where my thing is, you are real. So you're not putting on the bravado, you're not putting on the rubbish to go, oh, this is how I have to look. But really, I want to be doing something else. And so when I say, real, they're doing what they want to do and what they want to do. And so when it comes down to it, they're still going to be doing it and they might just take a few more holidays. Yeah.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, thank you.
I'm so pleased I managed to get you in the back of the ute.
Yes, thank you,
Very
yes.
comfortable, isn't it?
Grow more.
That's it.
All right, cool, thanks.
Very good. Thank you, Tim.
Do I interview up all right?
It was perfect. I got a few serious answers.
I think you did a good job. Yeah, those last sort of few questions.
Yeah.
And then, it is interesting how it's shaping up like what people say to